holding up the agreement for that 6-month plan, there is something that is gaining a momentum in this country that I want to assure that everyone knows, and I was notified of it this morning through an email into my website. And it was from a woman that I don't know, and she said, my husband is active duty in the Navy, and I just wanted to let you know there is a Facebook campaign supporting Senate Bill 724. Please click the link below, because there are 437,000 people who have signed on that they agree with it. This is what America thinks about military pay being cut. Because Senate Bill 724, that was put forward by myself and Senator Casey, who came on board, which now has 58 sponsors, is about making sure that no matter what happens in the next 12 hours, no matter what happens with the government shutdown, that there will be no question in the minds of our military and their families that they will be paid on time, because there's no question they're going to come to work. And I do not want 1 day or 1 hour of delay in the payment for our military. We have about 100,000 people in Afghanistan today putting their lives on the line wherever they are in that country. And we have 47,000 in Iraq. Now, for the people back home, and I've already heard from one wife who has a 1-year-old child whose husband is in Afghanistan, who says, thank you for remembering that we have mortgages to pay and our husbands aren't here to help us or do anything about it. So I want to say that we have now, in the hour since we got this note, we went on the website. The website is called Ensuring Pay for Our Military Act of 2011, which is the name of our bill. It now has 639,212 who have signed on in support of this website. The people of our country know that there is one option we don't have, and that is to pass a freestanding bill that will assure, whatever the other disagreements are, that our military pay will be on time for the work that is being performed. America understands that, and I am asking the United States Senate to join. And Mr. President, I do want to ask a unanimous consent for co-sponsors to be added to my bill. Senator Mark Pryor, Senator John Bozeman, Senator Michael Bennet, Senator Max Baucus, Senator Johnny Isakson, Senator Mark Kirk, and Senator Tim Johnson.
Without objection.
That brings the total to 58. Senator Casey has been a wonderful supporter in this. He is the lead co-sponsor. 58 United States senators have stepped up to the plate and said, this is not an option for us to equivocate for 1 minute. So, Mr. President, I'm waiting to get 2 more co-sponsors, which will show that we have 60 and that we want to act as a United States Senate. And I am hoping that Senator Casey and I could get the ability to bring our bill up and pass it. It's very simple, very clear. Military pay and those who are serving our military in civilian capacities will not be delayed, because they're going to report to work and they need to have the peace of mind to know that the mortgages that they have, maybe on direct lines to the mortgage companies, are going to be covered. That is the very least that we could do as we are arguing about whose fault it is going to be if we have a shutdown. We need to say, first of all, it is our first priority not to have a shutdown, and we need to be able to come to an agreement. And Mr. President, we need to take the further action, and I hope we can do it very quickly, of just saying, we're going to assure with this simple bill, our military will be paid. And if we send this to the House of Representatives, my guess is they too will pass it.
Yield.
I will yield.
I'd like to ask consent to be added as a co-sponsor to your legislation.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Without objection.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. That makes 59. And I do hope that...
Mr. President, will the senator yield?
I will yield.
I'd like to be asked to be added as a co-sponsor as well. I may already be on that, but...
Without objection.
Senator Warner, was Senator Warner on? Senator Warner, you're 60. We now have the ability to pass a piece of legislation. Whatever happens on this floor, we have 60 votes who have committed to supporting our troops and assuring them that there is no equivocation in this United States Senate for having their pay on time, because they'll be doing their duty in Iraq. They'll be doing their duty in Afghanistan. And it is my great hope that we also will have the ability to assure their families so there's not 1 minute of stress added to what they already have in their lives. Thank you, Mr. President. And Senator Blumenthal is a co-sponsor. He was in the first 60. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President, with that, I want to thank those who started this Facebook and the grassroots movement that has brought us to over 500,000 people in just a few hours. This is a true grassroots movement, and I thank those people who started it, and I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
The senator from New York.
Well, thank you, Mr. President.